Another business that fueled the industrial expansion was oil. When Edwin L. Drake struck oil in Titusville, Pennsylvania in 1859, no one could foresee the impact that it would have on the nation. Initially, it was not of much use. Greasing wagon wheels and nostrums were all it seemed good for, until a Yale professor discovered that it could be refined into three important products: gasoline, kerosene, and a distillate used to form new substances. From 1860 to 1900, dozens of developers applied for patents as motor applications increased with demand. Some industrialists were wildly successful in exploiting this new market. Among them was a young man named John D. Rockefeller. Born to a New York peddler in 1839, Rockefeller went on to become the first oil billionaire. At age 16, John D. Rockefeller began working as a clerk in a produce company. While there, he formed a partnership in a grain commission. Rockefeller used those profits to enter into the oil business at 23 years of age. Rockefeller set out to make the fledgling oil industry efficient. His goal was to establish a centralized control system to curtail wild price variations and waste. 15 years later, the goal was reached when his Standard Oil Company of Ohio controlled the flow of oil products from producer to consumer. Rockefeller's companies had acquired crude oil fields, long-distance pipelines, and operated retail outlets. By 1880, Standard Oil owned the chief refineries in New York City, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. Ultimately, Rockefeller controlled 90% of the world's oil trade under the Standard Oil Trust, which comprised 41 companies. The trust was dissolved in 1892 by the Supreme Court for antitrust violations. Although railroads, steel, and oil were among the most influential industries of the late 19th century, they were not alone in their prosperity. Prior to the Civil War, the U.S. Patent Office issued less than 1,000 patents annually. By 1890, inventions were being registered at the rate of 25,000 each year. The invention of the typewriter, the adding machine, and the cash register sped the growth of business. George Eastman's Brownie camera, the elevator, and Alexander Graham Bell's telephone all mark this new season of ingenuity. By 1900, Bell's phone had found its way into 1 million homes. But supreme among all inventors was Thomas Alva Edison. Among his many inventions, Edison was responsible for the phonograph, the mimeograph, the dictaphone, improved film projectors, storage batteries, and, of course, the light bulb. Thomas Edison didn't actually invent the light bulb, but he refined the filament, making it practical for everyday use. Along with his team of scientists, Edison is credited with producing a minor invention every 10 days and a major invention every 6 months. During his lifetime, Edison was granted an astonishing 1,093 patents.